Welcome back, everyone. Today we're talking about some 1990 tops and its errors. Well, there's a really big error in the set, and yes, we're going to talk about it. If you know much about errors, you definitely probably know about one famous one in the set, and we're going to get to it. We're going to start by talking about some stats of this. There's 792 cards in the set. Kind of had this colorful border with like fading and stuff. I think it was pretty ugly. I didn't really care for it. I was really into Don Russ at the time that this came out and was really popular. Junk wax era, tons of them made. There's still unopened wax boxes everywhere. Oh, this particular set does have a little bit of premium. People looking for errors in that one. One in particular error. Let's see here. There was a couple notable errors in the set, too, maybe ones you haven't heard of, and a bunch of like small ones there. Let's get started going down the list here. Number 5, Nolan Ryan. So he's just retiring, so they came out with like a subset of these Nolan Ryan cards. Number 5 says he played at Texas Stadium. It's actually called Arlington Stadium, so wouldn't be an error that I would have caught. The next one is a Dave Parker, number 45, uncorrected error. He was born in Jackson, not Calhoun, as it says on the back. Darrell Evans, number 55, uncorrected error. His home run totals should be 414. The back of the card says 424. They just decided to give him 10 more home runs. Number 222, Kurt Stillwell. This is an uncorrected error. They misspelt graduate. It's kind of funny. It says Graduate. So it doesn't have the second A in it. I'll throw up a picture of that one. The next card is number 336, the Gold Cup card of Ken Griffey Jr. This is a second year card, so it's kind of a big deal. Really popular card. I think it's probably worth like $1, whatever. And there's a lot of them out there, but this one has something kind of interesting here, and there's a few videos out there. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one, but on his arm, this is called the Bloody Scar error. And it's not truly an error. There's a couple of variations where it's really bright red, or it looks like he's bleeding. They kind of covered it up so it looks darker. It's still evident, but it's like darker. And then there's actually some green ones, and those seem to be much more rare, as I couldn't find any of them, where instead of red blood, he looks like he's alien. He has some green there. And so it looks like that it never was bloody at all. It was just some kind of print defect. I'll let you guys kind of decide. I'll throw up some scans of that one. But they don't really go for much more premium. There is some crazy people on eBay selling these for ridiculous amounts. Do not fall for it. These cards should be selling all day long for $1 or $2. Not a big thing, and it's not even really a variation that's recognized by Beckett. So moving on here, number 353, Sandy Alomar Jr. Well, it doesn't say the junior on the card, so kind of interesting. That was uncorrected. Number 355, Marty Barrett has his batting average. Okay, this is funny. So it's listed at .56 batting average. Well, that's not very good, but actually, that would be really good. That would be over 500. But they're missing a 0 in there in the 1982 stats. It says it should be .082. So not a very good batting average, but kind of a funny one. 376. There's a checklist error. It doesn't alphabetize the names correctly. I'll show up a picture here. Higuera is not in the right order. It's like it's not alphabetized correctly. So kind of a funny one. 426, Jeff Hamilton, this is an uncorrected error, has the strikeouts incorrectly in 1986. So, which is really funny because he has 197 strikeouts, but he has fewer plate appearances. So it's like he struck out more than he went up to the plate. Well, that's a mistake. So they did not correct that one. I don't know what the correct one is. That was for the 1986 stats. Number 496, Cecil Espy. Shows his stolen bases in 1988 as 33, and it only lists 3. It should be 33, not 3. So they really kind of cheated him out of a bunch of stolen bases. Moving on, number 522, Mike Dunn, listed with the wrong birth date. He was born in Peoria, not South Bend. Didn't correct it. 528, Nick Wickender, So it shows on the back here that his strikeout total was 2.2. Well, you can't have 2.2 strikeouts. That should be his innings pitched. So just kind of got put in the wrong category. Not a big deal. That was not corrected, though. Billy Spires, number 538. There he is. Looks like he's dropping the ball or something. I don't know what's going on there, but it's not actually him. It's a picture of George Canal. Canal. Did not correct that. Wrong picture. I love it when they do that. Poor guy. Next one is 553 Scott Scudder. Uncorrected error, references to Cedar Rapids. Well, I'm just going to have to show you a picture of this one here because Rapids, instead of an I, has a 1 in there. So it's like completely, I don't know what they were thinking there. And that somehow made it past the spell check, whatever they had back then. So Cedar Rapids with a 1. It's kind of a funny one. All right, number 661. Dick Hauser. There's a turn back the clock card on the back, and the narrative has an uncorrected error talking about Tom Seaver's 300th win. It should be on August 4th of 85, but it has it listed as July 11th of 85. Whoop-de-doo. So wrong date on that. Kurt Manwaring, number 678. His 1988 stats are printed twice. Let me show you a picture of this one. Really weird. They just got the same line twice. Number 749, Mark Parent. It shows that he batted .80 batting average. Okay, well, they don't have 2-digit batting averages, but they did for him. It should be .080, so very poor batting average, but they did not list that correctly on there. Another really weird card here, and I wrote down some notes here. It's about the George Bush card. This is numbered as USA 1, and this is fake. I wrote very fake on it because I don't want to accidentally think this is a real card. Extremely, extremely rare if you happen to get one. The Bush cards have been previously graded by PSA as having a rough surface, but there are glossy ones out there as well. The glossy cards were a batch that Topps had made specially and given to former President Bush Sr. The former Topps CEO Arthur Shorin confirmed in a press release that there was only 100 of these glossy ones produced. We're not really clear about where the regular rough ones, if you will, where they went. People reported getting them in packs, so there's not really any kind of ideas as far as how much the rough ones are out there. The glossy ones, there's 100 of them. Apparently, former President Bush, rest in peace, was giving some out to like friends and whatnot. So some of those are out there, and man, I'd love to get my hands on one of those, but I don't think I will. The next error is these Blacklist card errors. Now, I'm going to try and throw up a couple pictures of them, but if you look at the front of cars, there's always like little lines and borders in black, circling the names and the outside of the card and everything. Well, there's some Blacklist ones on the sheet F sheets where they had missed some of the black, just wasn't getting printed, and there's a bunch of errors out there, and they're not in the books, so they're really not thing you can really put a value to, but they left some of the black off there, and so those are called Blacklist errors. They seem to be all on the sheet F where they're missing that black ink. The most popular Blacklist error is definitely something you'll see in the books, and that is the Big Hurt Frank Thomas rookie card number 414, where this is obviously a corrected one, but his name is missing, and that is called the NNOF, no name on front. And those are worth a ton of money. They're worth like $1,000 or maybe $800 or something like that. But they kind of vary there. They're worth a ton of money, really hard to find. And that's actually just another example of the Blacklist card errors that they were kind of messing up, where the Blacklist is his whole name that was missing. So, man, if you got one of those, hang on to it. There's a bunch of fake ones out there, but if you can find a real one, it's worth a ton of money. So that's the 1990 Topps list and its errors. I really like Frank Thomas. He is a heck of a guy. Really liked his fans. and a little entrepreneur. So I'm glad to talk about him. He's one of my favorite Hall of Famers. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Been a while since we came out with a video, but we will be doing some more. I got some others in the works. So appreciate you guys liking and subscribing, and we'll see you next time.